Okay, this is for Heather, and this is to show her how to get different types of embossing powder looks without having a whole bunch of embossing powder. Really, all you need are some distress inks or some markers. I tried it with the watercolors. I didn't like it. They weren't vibrant enough. I haven't tried it with alcohol inks. I've just used them with the Marvies and the distress pens and the distress inks and my other pad type inks. So all you need is ink, whether it's in a marker or a pad. Chalk ink, I haven't tried it with chalk ink either. Your stamps, your paper, and clear embossing powder. And with this and the ink, you can get any type of embossed color. The way to do it is you take your stamp, and I'm using like a little dandelion stamp here to show you how to do it with the markers. The secret is you put your Versamark ink on first. You lay that on the stamp and you get it nice and sticky, and you'll be able to see if you tilt it to where the light hits it, you'll be able to tell that there's ink on the stamp image that you want impressed and not on the bottom. Okay, so then you take your markers, and when you're coloring your stamp with the markers, you don't want to color like this. What you want to do is kind of roll it on there. Roll the color on, okay? Just roll the color on, and then roll it where you think those areas are that you want to hit with the yellow, and just, you know, dab it on there, okay? And then if you have a big area, just roll it. It's really easy to roll it. It's not that difficult. You just roll it, and if you don't think you have enough ink on there, roll it again, and it should go on there. Actually, once you see how much it does go on there, you'll be surprised. And you're just rolling it to get that ink on there. You're not trying to get the Versamark ink off. You're trying to get the ink on. Okay, but you do not want to remove the Versamark ink. And so you just roll it, okay? All right, so on here, I've tried this 2 or 3 times, and this is what I found that works the best. You do need to use your embossing buddy when you do this. You don't want all the other embossing powder, the clear, going all over the place. And be careful, because I've done it 1,000 times. Don't drop your Versamark ink on your paper. It's a booger to get off. You have to scrape it, and it's ridiculous. Anyway, this I'm going to put here in the corner, and I'm just going to keep it pressed down for a few seconds. And I think that's good. Okay. And here is the image. See how well it took? Just rolling that color on. Okay. So I'm going to do the other side of this, and I'm just going to do it straight. This is a script stamp, and I'm just going to put Versamark ink on it. I'm not going to put any color on it because I want this to be just white, because I'm going to do some distressing over it. I just want it to be white. And I believe it goes this way. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Okay, you just kind of randomly stick that. Okay. Now, there's a swirl that I want to put on, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to ink this and say, let's do a green. Let's do a peeled paint. Again, I want to put the Versamark ink on first. That's the secret. You put that, you put that on first. Okay. And that looks pretty good. Okay. Then you put your ink on. You know what? Let's go for a muted green. And that doesn't have to be, I'm not looking for a perfect flourish. If it looks distressed, that's fine. So I'm going to turn this around, and I'm just going to scoop this I'm going to put this about halfway. Halfway. Okay. And the other half I'm going to put down here. Okay. So you can't see the white or the script writing because I just did it in clear, but you can see the other one. Okay, so now you get your clear ink or clear embossing powder, and you just put it on. Okay. And you can't see it, but I can. Let me see if I can pull that up and see if you can see it. I don't know if that comes out. It's a little dull because it's got the embossing powder on it. Okay. So then we're going to put this back in the jar. Okay, and I'm sorry, I didn't tell you what you needed. You needed your clear embossing powder, Versamark ink. You needed your distressing inks, distressing pad or ink pad, and your markers. Okay, your stamps of any kind, your heat tool, your embossing buddy, a craft mat, and I believe that is it. So let's emboss this. Okay, that's not embossed that way. Okay, now this is all embossed. See how it's darker? It's all embossed. So then when you go to do your ink or your distress ink over it, it's going to have the white coming out from the clear embossed script. And then this is going to be, you can feel it. It's got texture to it now. And all I did to get all those different colors in there was just used my markers directly on the stamp after I put the Versamark on. So it's Versamark first, ink or markers second. Markers you roll on. The ink pads you can just kind of, do random. You can do 2 or 3 colors. You can do 2 colors, 1 color, whatever you want. But that's the process. Then you pour your embossing powder, heat it up, and this is what you get. Works every time. So I hope you give it a try. Let me know what you guys do with it, and I'd like to see some projects. Thanks.